Hello, I was baptised 6 months ago into the church. It took me a long time to reach that point because I had to go through a number of major steps, one of which was to decide whether I believed in the existence of God or believed in the non-existence of God. And I did this by reading books, going on a couple of short courses and thinking a lot. And I'm a scientist, and when I looked at the evidence, it seemed to me there's just as much reason to believe in God as not. They're evenly balanced. So why didn't I just sit on the fence and just drift through life? I think it's to do with the fact that I find the universe totally extraordinary, and I was driven by becoming a parent, and we have 2 children, and I was so astonished by that process that I needed to come to terms with it in some way. Once I chose to believe, I then had to ask myself, do I follow my own path of unique spirituality? I'm a very independent-minded person, and that was quite an attractive idea. Or should I follow an organised religion where it would involve agreeing with rules and possibly being part of an organisation that is critical of other religions. So, but I chose to look into organised religions because they have survived the test of time, so they have something which is offering their members. And also it provides one with an opportunity to learn how to be part of a community. Because I'm very independent, I'm somebody who has very few deep friends, many warm acquaintances, but I don't really feel that I've ever been part of a proper community, and therefore I haven't learnt how to fit in. So that was why I decided to go with an organised religion. But which one? How can you choose between religions? Because you can't, there isn't a sort of a laboratory test you can do. But what I did was that I looked at the fruits of the tree. In other words, what are the people who follow that religion like, which is also a reflection of the God that they worship. I found that all the main religions had people with whom I would feel admiration. Actually, in contrast to the Marxists I knew, who, to be blunt, I felt were hypocrites. They said they cared about the poor, but actually they wanted to make them more poor and miserable so that a revolution would occur. The ends justified the means. While with religions, they did appear to be genuinely concerned with their followers. But which of those? Well, why did I choose Christianity? Because of Jesus's teachings. He stressed the number one commandment is to love God with all your heart, your soul and your mind. In other words, talking about a whole person, and not ignoring the mind, which is important to me because I don't wish to be a robot. And another element was that he divides or distinguishes between religion and politics, and in my opinion that's why Europe, which is was originally a European, a Christian continent, developed democracy, because we could escape from the harm of dictatorships. And therefore Christianity is not just concerned with the afterlife, it's concerned with the happiness of people now. And of course, in Jesus's ideal prayer, the Lord's Prayer, he calls upon God to accelerate the time when his kingdom is on earth, and which is also an indication that Christians must be promoting his kingdom on earth, not just by preaching, but actually the way in which they live their lives and how they relate to others and what society is like. Why did I choose the Latter-day Saint version of Christianity? Well, lots of reasons. It's pro-family and pro-marriage. There are equal numbers of men and women at the church when you tend, which is very rare in churches these days. They promote the concept of free will. In other words, it is on your responsibility to make the choice between good and bad. There's also a freedom to have personal revelations. So you can pray for guidance relating to your own circumstances, which for me means that if I ever felt that the church was going astray on any particular matter, I could pray about it and hopefully give guidance as to whether or not I can just live with it or whether I have to storm off in a huff. There are also temple sealings, that is where you can go to the temple and be married for eternity, and also you can be sealed to your family forever. I also like the way in which we view ourselves as having chosen to be here on earth rather than being descendants of Adam and Eve who were punished and continue to be punished. It's a much more positive way of looking at the world, and of course the benefits of membership were reflected in the sisters. Missionaries, Sister Hunter, Ross and Marquez were the ones who taught me, and they were such wonderful people. I thought this has to be great. And as far as the effect on my life, I'm getting on better with my wife, I believe. She has been a Christian. She's a member of another church, and she's one of the reasons I wanted to investigate the whole field. And I think that I'm a lot happier person. Okay, that's it, and I say all these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.